Hello and thanks for joining us on the News at 10 on NTA News 24. I am Stella Inameti. The headlines. President Tinubu reconstitutes NNPC Limited Board, appoints new chairman, Group CEO. Edo State Governor pays condolence visits to families of victims of Uromi tragedy. Vice President Kashim Shettima urges Nigerians to embrace unity, peaceful coexistence and tolerance as key pillars for national progress. Correspondent examines Nigeria's efforts against Lassa fever. Thanks again for joining us. We begin the news by telling you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved a sweeping reconstitution of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company NNPC Limited Board, removing the chairman, Chief Pius Akinye Rule, and the Group Chief Executive Officer, Malam Mele Kolo-Kyari. President Tinubu removed all other board members appointed with Akinye Lure and Kyari in November 2023. The new 11-man board has Engineer Bashir Bayo Ojulari as the Group CEO and Amadu Musa Kida as non-executive chairman. Adedakbo Shegun, who replaced Umaru Isajia as the Chief Financial Officer last November, has been appointed to the new board by President Tinubu. 6 board members, non-executive directors, represent the country's geopolitical zones. They are Bello Rabiu, Northwest, Yusuf Usman, Northeast, and Babs Omotsowa, a former managing director of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas, who represents North Central. President Tinubu appointed Austin Avuru as a non-executive director from the South-South, David Ige as a non-executive director from the Southwest, and Henry Obi as a non-executive director from the Southeast. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Finance, will represent the ministry on the new board, while Aminu Saeed Ahmed will represent the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. All the appointments are effective today, April 2nd. President Tinubu, invoking the powers granted under Section 59, subsection 2 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, emphasized that the board's restructuring is crucial for enhancing operational efficiency, restoring investor confidence, boosting local content, driving economic growth, and advancing gas commercialization and diversification. The Edo Governorship Tribunal will today rule on PDP's petition challenging Monday Okpebholo's victory in the September 2024 election. The 3-member panel, led by Justice Wilfred Bochi, had on March 3rd reserved judgment in the petition filed by PDP and its candidate, Asue Igadalu, against the election of Monday Okpebholo of APC as governor of this state. And now joining us from the tribunal this morning for more updates is our correspondent, Dele Atumbi. Dele, what is the general atmosphere at the tribunal as everyone awaits the judgment?
Thank you, Stella. The atmosphere here is peaceful and calm. The security arrangement here is very tight at the National Judicial Institute. And how did we get to this point? The 3-man tribunal was sitting in Benin, and on the 27th of January, the tribunal relocated to Abuja, and no reason was given for the tribunal relocation. As at today, the tribunal would dispense justice on 3 petitions: that of Labour Party, that of PDP, and one other petition. And when it comes to the issue of the tribunal sitting, take a look at section 285 subsection 6 of the Nigerian Constitution. It will reveal to Nigerians that that aspect of the Constitution says that 180 days tribunal should not spend more than 180 days, which is important to the law, so that there will be speedy dispensation of election matters, and that is done in improving the Nigeria, in improving the electoral process. And today, the panel will be taking a critical look at 3 petitions, and those 3 petitions will now be decided. As a matter of fact, as at the time I'm talking to you, the 3-man panel had come in, and that shows that they are about to dispense justice on the 3 petitions. And with the 3 petitions to be dispensed with at this point in time, both the petitioners and the respondents, they will definitely know their faith. And what is the cause of the matter? They are challenging the election and the declaration of Governor Monday Okpebholo as the governor of Edo State. And if you take a look at the result that was declared by INEC, Governor Monday Okpebholo polled through 191,667 votes, as against the second runner-up that had 244,000 votes. So we can take a critical look at this. The people expect that the tribunal will do justice to what it's before it. And one thing I know about tribunal is that they will not go outside what had been put before them.
Okay, thank you, Dele. You have given us an extensive update at this hour. We expect more news from the tribunal as soon as they break. Now moving on, families of victims of Uromi tragedy have joined Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf in commending the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo's compassion and solidarity towards them. This was as the governor paid a condolence visit to Torankawa community in Bunkure local government area of Kano State. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Torankawa, a community in Bunkure local government area of Kano State, is grappling with sorrow rather than celebration of this Eid al-Fitr season. The usual joy of the holiday has been overshadowed by a tragedy, as 7 of their sons were among 16 travelers murdered in Uromi, Edo State, while on their way home to mark the festive occasion. Yet, Torankawa's grief is not one they bear alone. In a gesture of solidarity, Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo visited the mourning families alongside his counterpart Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State. Governor Okpebholo, who addressed them in Hausa language, promised not only that justice would be served, but also that the affected families would receive the necessary assistance during this difficult time.
So far, 14 arrests have been made, and the suspects are in police custody. Everything will be okay, by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
The visit was appreciated by the community, with local leaders, including the Emir of Kano, Muhammad Isa Umar, expressing their gratitude for the compassion. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
In the same development, the 16th Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, has described as patriotic the proactive approach of the Edo State governor in addressing the aftermath of the Uromi disturbance that led to the death of 16 travelers. He was speaking during a Salah homage on Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf at the Kano Government House. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Unlike in the previous years, the royal father arrived at the government house in a motor vehicle. Traditionally, it is used to pay Salah homage on the governor and convey the plights of the masses for government's action. Emir Muhammad Sanusi II, while congratulating Governor Abubakar Yusuf for his administration's development programs and projects, thanked him for ensuring peaceful coexistence in the state. He also commended the patriotic approach of Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State to the unfortunate incident in Uromi that led to the death of 16 travelers. Emir Sanusi stressed that the governor's response has helped heal the wounds of the affected families, demonstrating a commitment to both leadership and empathy. Governor Abubakar Yusuf expressed gratitude for the emir's visit, acknowledging the valuable counsel and support provided by the royal father. He reiterated that such advisory guidance is essential to the state's continued development. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, Edo State chapter, has called on the opposition, PDP, to tread with caution, especially on issues that pertain to security in the state, as Governor Monday Okpebholo is doing everything within the ambit of available resources to ensure democracy, rule of law, and fundamental human rights thrive. Chairman of the party, Emperor Jairet Tenebe, said the alleged plot by the PDP to make Edo State ungovernable using the recent happenings, particularly the Uromi massacre, as a blackmail for security failure, and urged them to desist from fanning the amber of confusion and chaos.
I call on security agencies to immediately arrest Tony Azegbemi and other PDP leaders involved in their treasonous act. Furthermore, I urge the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to liaise with embassies in countries where these PDP members reside and request their extradition for prosecution. Terrorism, a violent attack against the peace of our nation, cannot and will not be tolerated.
The party said their plan for the declaration of a state of emergency will not work because Governor Okpebholo is managing the state and putting the right infrastructure in place for the rebirth of the state. Meanwhile, the minority caucus of the House of Representatives has condemned the murder of 16 Nigerians in Edo State, describing it as barbaric. In a statement, the caucus says such brutal killings of innocent Nigerians in any part of the country by lawless mobs must not be allowed to fester without decisive actions by the federal government. It implores all Nigerians to eschew jungle attacks on their fellow citizens, but to utilize the services of lawful authorities to address security concerns. The minority caucus also urges the relevant tiers of government and security agencies to expedite investigations to apprehend the culprits and also ensure that adequate compensation is paid to the affected families. Similarly, the Because of Our Tomorrow Boot Party has strongly condemned the Uromi tragedy Edo State that led to loss of lives of some hunters. In a statement from the Boot Party National Chairman, Sunday Adenuga, the party urges government to take immediate action to ensure that justice is served for the victims and their families. The Boot Party appeals that while the desire for swift justice is understandable, it is imperative that all measures remain within the boundaries of the law to prevent further erosion of civil order. The thoughts and prayers of the Boot Party, says, are with the victims and their families at this time. And still on the Uromi killings, the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, has lauded the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, for his swift and decisive actions following the tragic killing of travelers in Uromi, Edo State on March 27, 2025. In a statement by the Executive Director of CISLAC, Awal Musa Rufsanjani, the organization expressed strong support for Governor Okpebholo's response after the horrific incident. The governor not only visited the bereaved families in Kano State to offer his condolences, but also assured them of his commitment to justice. As a civil society organization dedicated to promoting good governance, rule of law, and the protection of human rights, CISLAC strongly supports the governor's actions, especially the disbanding of unregulated vigilante groups that pose a serious threat to public safety and the rule of law. This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More stories after this break. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Vice President Kashim Shettima has urged Nigerians to embrace unity, peaceful coexistence and tolerance as key pillars for national progress, drawing from the lessons of Ramadan. He made the call in Maiduguri during a luncheon with Borno State elders and his schoolmates in celebration of Eid al-Fitr. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jibrila reports.
Members of the highly revered Borno Elders Forum here to celebrate with Vice President Kashim Shettima for the successful end of Ramadan fast and also appreciate his role in advancing Nigeria's transformation under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Vice President Kashim Shettima called on them to support the administration's ongoing economic reforms, assuring that the short-term difficulties will yield long-term benefits for the country. The Vice President, who spoke through the member representing Maiduguri Metropolitan Constituency at the House of Representatives, Abdul Qadir Rahis, said there was a need for continued harmony among citizens.
I wish also to say that we should all, at all times, maintain and build on this sense of unity, community, for our collective gain and progress as a people. May Almighty Allah protect the Vice President, our boss, our mentor, the good people of the State and Nigeria in general.
Vice President Shettima said President Tinubu remains committed to implementing policies that will create sustainable development, urging Nigerians to continue embodying the spiritual lessons gained during Ramadan as a pathway to national development. He enjoined the citizens of Borno State and Nigerians in general to always maintain threads of humility, communal living and values, which he described as foundation for national progress. Chairman of the Borno State Elders Forum, Gambo Gubuyo, expressed appreciation for the Vice President's hospitality and assured him of continued prayers for success in his duties.
I want Nigerians to emulate him, Nigerians to give him the maximum cooperation as he deputizes his boss, His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, while urging all to put all hands on deck to pray for the lasting peaceful coexistence of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Extreme gentleman, of high, immense character. And, we are all proud of him, and everybody is proud of him. To see, like I said, the faces of the people that have attended this wonderful event.
Other stakeholders urged Nigerians to rally round President Tinubu, stressing the need for continued prayers and support towards the implementation of the administration's policies for the improvement of the economy and overall development of Nigeria. From Maiduguri, Abdulrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
In the same development, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has enjoined the Muslim community in the state to partner with the state government in the fight against crimes and criminalities in order to ensure the safety of all and sundry living in the state. He made the appeal during a special Salah banquet held at the Government House, Owerri, as part of activities marking this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration in the state. Kingsley Ononiwu has the details as presented from our studios.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, while congratulating Muslim faithful in the state on their successful completion of the 2025 Ramadan season, urged them to remain committed to fostering harmony among themselves and members of other religions, as well as contribute their quota to the development of the state. He therefore sought the partnership of the Muslim community towards the eradication of all manners of crime and criminality.
Help the government to fight crime. Help the government to stop violence. Learn how to tolerate each other. We don't want disunity among the Muslims. We want you to be united. We want you to love yourselves. We want you to work together. We want you to do only those things that the Holy Quran allows.
The leader of Hausa community in Imo State, Awal Baba Suleiman, commended the governor for his inclusive governance.
Your leadership has fostered an environment whereby Muslims community in Imo State feel secured, valued, and integral to the socio-economic fabric of Imo State. Through your administration's dedication to security, business-friendly policies, and inclusive governance, you have reaffirmed that Imo State is a land of opportunity for all who reside lawfully within its bounds.
The Salah banquet was also attended by some non-Muslim leaders in the state.
And in the spirit of Eid al-Fitr celebrations, the Yobe State government has extended a hand of kindness to Almajiri pupils by providing them with free Salah meals, ensuring these children are not left behind during the festive season. The gesture is part of government's efforts to promote the welfare and well-being of vulnerable children who often struggle to make ends meet. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Yobe State in northeast Nigeria is a hub for Almajiris from various northern states who come to learn the art of reciting and memorizing the Holy Quran. As a result, they can be found in all nooks and crannies of the state. This category of children is usually tagged as vulnerable and marginalized, particularly during festive seasons. However, in Yobe State, they now have a reason to rejoice, thanks to the distribution of free Salah meals by the state government in the spirit of the season. We are thrilled by this heartwarming gesture and hope it will be sustained.
Sharing food and extending kindness are some of the activities that this period encourages.
Under this initiative, 3,600 Almajiri pupils in 6 local government areas of the state are benefiting from this gesture, aims to provide a sense of belonging and happiness to these children who are often overlooked during celebrations.
This particular program aims at building synergy between the state government and Almajiri schools so that they can feel the government is theirs, they can see the government has concern for them, and it is quite motivational so that when the government comes with policies and programs, they can easily grab it.
What the Northeast Development Commission is to support and encourage the state government and encourage the teachers of the Almajiri to have these occasions at home instead of roaming around.
As part of the celebrations, people are encouraged to extend some act of kindness to those around them. Happy Eid al-Fitr Salah celebrations. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has reaffirmed the Nigerian Air Force's commitment to the welfare and operational effectiveness of its personnel. A statement by the Deputy Director, Public Relations and Information, Group Captain Kabir Ali said this at the 2025 Salah luncheon with troops of the Air Component Operation Fasan Yama in Katsina State. Represented by the Air Officer Commanding Special Operations Command, Air Vice Marshal Usman Abdullahi, the Chief of Air Staff commended the troops for their resilience, dedication and professionalism in safeguarding the nation, assuring them that their sacrifices will not go unrecognized. He urged the troops to remain steadfast in their mission to restore normalcy and acknowledged President Tinubu's support for the NAF. And ahead of the commencement of the recall process against the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, the People's Democratic Party Youth Alliance for Good Governance is urging the leadership of the National Assembly to impose sanctions on erring lawmakers to maintain the sanctity of the legislature. Addressing the media in Abuja, the national coordinator of the Youth Alliance, Ikemba Ikoku, explained that the continuous deadlock and political maneuvering in the National Assembly amount to a betrayal of democracy.
According to Order 5, Sub 1H of Senate Standing Rules, Orders as amended, which states, every senator shall ensure that his representation in the Senate is to the benefit of his constituents and not for personal aggrandizement. Across the world, democratic nations upheld strict accountability measures. Nigerians must do the same. Misconduct in the National Assembly delays critical legislation which represents constituents and damage national credibility. When senators violate rules or fail in their duties, they must face consequences.
The PDP Youth Alliance believes that lawmakers are elected to serve the people and not to engage in endless power struggles while critical national issues remain unaddressed. This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More stories after this break.